In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. You have to feel sorry for Job, don't you, when he's gone through so much, and now he's got these friends who are not much help at all, who are actually accusing him of having done something wrong, so that that's why these things have happened to him. When we know, as people who are reading the story, that Job hasn't done anything wrong, that what they're saying is not true. Job is now at the point where he feels completely alone. Even the people who are around him don't understand him, and he feels even that God is far away from him. So it's amazing that in that place of despair, Job manages to find some hope. Where is hope when we're suffering? Well, Job suffers more than most people, and he managed to find just tiny glimpses of hope in his words. He says, when his friends accuse him of having done wrong, that someone in heaven will come to his defence. That's the way that the Good News version of the Bible puts it. Now, some other people, some of the older people might recognise this verse better if I say it in a different way. These words are very famous words within the Bible. Job said, "For I know that my Redeemer lives." And that's the second word that we're going to focus on today. What does it mean? What does the word Redeemer mean? I know that my Redeemer lives. It's a word, the word Redeemer is a word that we use often in church, but do we really know what it means? Well, a Redeemer is basically someone who buys something back. So, if we can imagine just for a minute, say a friend comes to play with you in your garden at a social distance, and they see your trampoline and they want to have it. They don't have a trampoline of their own and they would like one. So they offer to buy you your trampoline from you. Now you're a wee bit fed up of your trampoline, you've not played in it for quite a few weeks now, and you're a bit bored with it. Your mum agrees that it takes up quite a lot of room in the garden and she would be happy for it to be given to your friend, to sell it to your friend for some money. So between you, you decide on a price and your friend gives you the money, takes the trampoline away. You've got some nice money in your pocket and your friend is happy because they've got an almost new trampoline. However, the next day when you wake up and the sun is shining and you find within yourself that the only thing you want to do is to go and bounce about on your trampoline, but it's not there, you can't do it. And that makes you sad. You know that the trampoline belongs to your friend now. It was a fair deal that you had done with them. So what can you do about it? Well, after a chat with your mum, you go to your friend's house and you ask if you can buy back your trampoline, their trampoline now. Your friend agrees that they will give you back the trampoline if you will give them back the money, with a little bit more money thrown in to make up for this, and you agree. So you exchange the money in the trampoline again and you take the trampoline home. You're a bit poorer, but you've got your beloved trampoline back. What you have done is that you have redeemed your trampoline and you believe that the extra cost was worth it because you've now got it back in your garden and you can play on it again. That is what we mean by redeem. Redeeming something or someone is to buy them back, to buy it back. In the Old Testament, a redeemer was a member of your family, someone who was actually obliged to help you if you needed that help. It was their duty to help you because they were your kinsman redeemer. This might mean buying you back. If you were sold as a slave, then your kinsman redeemer would have to buy you back. It would be their duty to do that. And if you were in trouble, then your kinsman redeemer would be obliged to help you in whatever way they could. Job's closest friends accuse him of doing something wrong, so he imagines that someone will come to his defence. And in these very worst of circumstances, Job thinks that someone somewhere must be obliged to help him. It must be their duty to come to his aid. And as there is no one left on earth who is on his side, Job states that someone then will come from heaven. This kinsman redeemer will stand with him, even as his friends have deserted him. This redeemer will even renew Job's relationship with God. Job lived thousands of years ago and hundreds of years before Jesus lived on earth, and he could only imagine that a redeemer would come for him. It was a faint hope that he had, but it was also something that he was sure of in that moment when he said it. He said, I know that my Redeemer lives. We are really blessed because we know the story of Jesus, how he lived and loved and died and rose again, just as he said would happen, as we heard in our gospel reading. Christians believe that Jesus is our Redeemer. In Jesus we see God face to face, just as Job imagined. Jesus is the one sent by God to redeem us, to make our relationship with God right again, to stand with us, to buy us back, to rescue us from slavery to sin. The price Jesus paid for our lives was with his own life. He gave up his life on our behalf when he died on the cross. Our first word today was hope. We have a sure and certain hope that Jesus is our Redeemer. He's not a stranger, but someone you can know, someone who stands beside you, someone who loves you so much that he gave up his life for you. And in these difficult and challenging days, when we search for hope in the midst of suffering, we find our hope in Jesus Christ, who is our Redeemer. To his name be all the praise and the glory forever. Amen.